Thank you so much, Pulse, and of course Forgiven for joining us. Always a pleasure to listen to Forgiven. And well, as the caster said, sometimes it was a sloppy game at times, but it's understandable from the side of Gambit that they might want to take it easy.
I completely agree, and I think, you know, there were some mistakes here and there, but once Gambit actually got a lead, I feel it took them such a long time to close the game out because they were playing too cautious. You know, sometimes you see teams that get ahead, and you say they're not necessarily playing to win, they're playing to not lose. In this scenario, Gambit were playing to not lose the lead that they had built up. They were against a lot of wave clear from COG. They were up against this Ekko, this unknown factor, and while he didn't necessarily build a lot of damage, it's this weird and wonderful combination you got to break through. So it was slow, it was dragged out, but Gambit covered all their bases. They did the 1-3-1 multiple times, and they eventually got that win. Yeah,
and sometimes they made the right calls. We had that Baron Dragon push decision there to just closing it out, but for the side of the Copenhagen Wolves, well, sloppy, and when you don't end up winning that game, so making anything happen with a pretty good start to your jungle Ekko in the end, that is not a good sign.
Not a great sign. And as you said, Ekko jungle started out pretty well, but then you just sort of have less effect as it went on throughout the game. When you're not building damage on Ekko, it's very difficult to do anything particularly. His kit does have a lot of utility, but we've already kind of seen how difficult it can be to get the parallel convergence combination, and it just didn't seem to work out for Awax that they were getting that long duration stun on multiple people. It showed signs of life, but I don't think it's something we're going to see often.
I agree, and I also don't think it really fit into the team composition. The AP COG didn't necessarily fit the same flavor as the Nautilus Lucian Rumble that really want to go in. Ekko needs to kite and set things up and went tanky, so I don't really see what Copenhagen was also trying to put into effect. I feel if they had a slightly more damage-dealing mid laner, things could have gone differently. But yeah, the big story for me is that Gambit, they got a win. We heard Forgiven talking about having the coach and how it's impacting the team, and we'll need to see if they can keep that up tomorrow when they have some more games.
Yeah, once they turned around their losing streak, they were for a really good winning streak, so we'll see. An Ekko OP 0-2 in European LCS so far, so let's see about that. Now, over the course of today's games, one player was really looking to make or break your fantasy LCS squad this week after picking up 13 kills, 12 assists, and going deathless for an unreal KDA of 25. It's H2K's Yarn, and who else could it be? Today's fantasy LCS leader, coming in just shy of 50 points on the day. Not really a surprise. He says it's all Kasing, but he definitely did something there.
Oh, most certainly. Great positioning, great decision-making. I'm particularly happy because he's on my PTL FL4 team, which you're going to be hearing about every single week as we continue to progress. But, you know, great performance, and I just think despite the fact H2K were pushed really, really hard, Hyanan stepped up. He in the interview actually said, I had to carry a little bit more, and he did.
Yep. But points, they aren't everything. Sometimes what you need is an all-or-nothing play. From @NJChef tweeted, whoa, Frederick should be using Safecracker Evelyn because that was a robbery. Here is your LCS big play of the day.
It's not very far away. There's only 2 members nearby. Frederick could flash over to try steal.
He got it!
He steals it! Frederick manages to show up big once more. Baron secured for Giants.
Starting to make a name for himself on the Baron steals is Frederick. Did it against Elements in the spring split. Now doing it again. 2 Baron steals for us in one day, though, for us while we were casting games 1 to 3. So maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's some kind of caster curse on teams doing Baron.
Or something in the air. And also, hey, by the way, props to Audrey as well, because they timed that really well together. It's just Frederick running away with the praise, though. So, a lot of big plays today. Some Baron steals, some a little bit slower games, but here's where the standings lie after day 1 of week 3. Fnatic and OG, they're still undefeated at the top of the table. Then we have Giants, H2K, 4-1. Unicorns of Love dropping a game here today, and a bunch of people in the mid-game and in the middle of the table, rather. Gambit Gaming managing to pull themselves up a tiny bit.
Yeah, so the story we had at the top of the show, how you had these sort of 4 different categories of teams. Now, finally, we've got an odd number of games, and we're starting to see a little bit more diversification in the table, and I'm expecting to see more of that tomorrow. The thing I'm getting super excited about is the potential of the 6-0 Fnatic, theoretically, against the theoretical 6-0 Origin next week. That is what I'm getting excited about. It is a little bit away, and there's still some more games tomorrow, but that's what I'm antsy for.
Yeah, they could drop a game tomorrow, of course, so let's take a look at the schedule for tomorrow. We're going to start the day with a game between Fnatic and Giants Gaming, and well, who knows, maybe the Giants have it in them to upset Fnatic. They have been on an absolute roll.
They have been, but they did drop against Origin.
They did, but then we looked at Origin compared to Fnatic. I actually think Giants are a fair test for Fnatic tomorrow. I still think it should be theirs, but Giants, they cannot underestimate.
Yeah, and also remember that UOL versus H2K is tomorrow, is our game of the week and also the last game of the day. And definitely UOL will be looking to prove something. H2K didn't have the cleanest game, so it's going to be a good one. And all the action gets underway at 6 p.m. Central European Summer Time, 9 a.m. Pacific, so don't you be late. Now, for now, we're going to call it a night here in Berlin. Thank you so much for joining us for the first half of Week 3, and we'll see you back here for more European League Champions Series tomorrow. Cheerio!